when you
History
think
shows we're all just a
that
crisis
people
away from
aspect
acting
into
irrationally
things,
in
it
groups.
completely there. I mean, you throw logic like out of the building. I mean, you go to a football game. You think people are acting logical there? Like, no. When you have a large body of people for any specific cause. I mean, it could be anything, anything. Um, you're going to see them take form in ways you didn't think was logical, per se. Um, you know, I'll be honest. I used to like growing up when we learned about the Holocaust, and like all the horrors with it. I used to say, how in the world, like, could something like that happen? Clearly, that was the wrong idea. Like, clearly, they were the bad guys. But to extract it from specifically the Holocaust to just like world events now, I can 100% see why like a country can get behind something that centuries later would be looked at as the wrong side of history because they think they're doing the right thing, and they look around, all they see are people who agree with them. Now, even during that time period, because Germany isn't absent of any great thinkers, so there are the people uh, who off to the side that weren't publicized as much, who have written great work and done the whole thing that said very intellectual things against it, but they just weren't they aren't part of the mass. Like that's not what people care about in a situation like that. If you're emotionally involved, you're not thinking. Like you're really not thinking. You're just going off how you feel.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how close all of us are to be the most evil version of ourselves, right? We're not that far away. I mean, just you get unemployed, or like those electromagnetic pulse comes,
Yeah,
like we're not that far away from being like,
yeah. Because even during then, the Holocaust or events leading up to it, they were experiencing hyperinflation.
mhm.
And I mean, we haven't seen hyperinflation here, at least not recently, but we have experienced inflation. We've seen things that could be um, looked at synonymously with like bread lines, and just the smell of it, people you kind of felt uneasy, and trust me, when things get real, again, logic plays no role. You're thinking, how can I make it until tomorrow? How can I take care of my family?
Like crazy. Like I think last week they were having this dock worker strike, right? And I know down where I live at DuPont, the Costco there, they had a run on the toilet paper, right? I'm thinking, man, if y'all doing a run on toilet paper for the dock worker strike, what will y'all do if like shit really hits the fan, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a really good example because I know you remember during COVID
Hmm.
they did the same thing.
Yeah, toilet paper of all things.
It was the first thing to go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, also this is why I still have my opinions, but um uh, I'm definitely still critical, but I'm more understanding of like the little kid in the hood that's like that turns to being a deviant seemingly out of nowhere. Now if you empathize with that kid, he doesn't have any options. And because doesn't have any options, he needs to feed himself right now. And
He's
he
not looking tomorrow or nothing like that.
doesn't care about it. It means
Like
nothing
I'm
to him.
hungry right now.
Tomorrow means absolutely nothing to him. That's like speaking in pig Latin. Doesn't understand it. Doesn't even care to. Not applicable. He's hungry. You look like food. He wants to eat right now. And so I mean, if you look at it that way, in a lot of ways, I understand it. Uh, Now the intellectuals can debate about how that kid got to that point. What happened to his parents? Are there any parents? The system. You can take it in a lot of different directions. But I get why people act off impulse, like, at any given time, especially if you feel like you don't have any options or any backup plan.
Yeah. So back to Marcus Aurelius, right? So if I have my history right, he was like the last of five great emperors, a Pax Romana kind of stuff. He did a lot of great things for his people, whatever. But then he picked his son Commandus to be his replacement. And Commandus like one of the worst emperors. Like, why do you? I mean, how do you think Scott and Marcus Aurelius made all these great decisions and couldn't see that his son was going to be such a horrible emperor?
Well, first I want to say I'm not totally adept to like that complete history. But on the surface, look, you ever heard the joke like if you're so smart, why aren't you rich?
Mhm.
You know, it's look, it's a different thing to kind of throw theories out in an academic setting and and then to make the right decision when everything matters. It's just a different beast. Um, Also, I think retroactively for its work, we pick out the best parts
Yeah,
and highlight that,
yeah,
and we just throw away the things that
yeah,
that just wouldn't hit the same. Um, and it's family. I mean,
yeah.
we all are blinded by the family aspect. I
That's
mean,
true.
you see the best in people that you love.
Yeah.
And again, I don't judge it. I understand it. You just don't want that to happen with the entire, you know, nation behind you.
Yeah. So next, let's talk about one of your heroes, Alexander the Great.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So with him, people don't realize this. I learned this from listening to your podcast. Like he lived like beer bread. Like he didn't really eat nothing like that.
yeah. He was a drunk.
Yeah.
Alexander the Great he was a drunk, and people don't know he was homosexual.
Mhm.
Alexander the Great was a drunk homosexual.